Dr. Dhawraj, of course, we were, talking about independence and the importance of it with that interview, that Kamogelo has just had. How significant is their role, particularly given the fact that people are worried about, the numbers game? Will they add the necessary value, to see the change that most people at grassroots level want to actually see?
Unfortunately, not in these elections, Unati, to be very, very nakedly honest. If you're talking about local government, then I would say they could have made a difference. In these elections, like we saw, obviously this was a constitutional court ruling a couple of years ago. That's how independents were allowed to participate in these elections. We expected much more of them to actually throw their hat into the ring. Unfortunately, only 11 qualified to run. And of those 11, I think one or two actually stand out. One of them is in the Western Cape, that's Zaki Ahmed. The other one is a former ANC COPE leader, Anila Mda, very young lady as well, very charismatic. So if you lack that character, if you lack that charisma, I don't think you're going to make a huge dent in these elections. And secondly, and very importantly, remember for independents, it's very, very difficult to actually get those number of votes that actually wins you a seat in the National Assembly. Because in these elections, we've got three ballots. We've got the national, we've got the regional, and then we've got the provincial. So let's look at the national. And at the national level, the first ballot, you're voting for 200 seats in the National Assembly. And then on the regional ballot, that's where independents are allowed to actually throw their name into the ring for the National Assembly. They're contesting for 200 seats. Yeah. So if you look at political parties benefit from votes from the national, the compensatory ballot, plus the regional ballot. So, it's much easier for them. For that independent, they only have the benefit of that regional ballot. So if the quota established by the IEC is very, very high, say like 89,000, I think independents will struggle. They will benefit more had they thrown their names, probably for local government elections like we've seen in past elections, 2021, 2016, those kind of ones. There, the threshold is much, much lower. There, they have more say, especially in the smaller councils, especially in the Western Cape, KZN, where their one seat can make a difference. They probably can end up as the mayor or the speaker or the chief whip within council. In these elections, I think it's a slow work in progress. One step forward. I think maybe the next two election cycles, they could possibly make a difference.
All right. Thank you so much for that analysis, Dr. Dhawraj. Of course, we will be seeing you, pretty much every single day as those numbers come in. We're expecting them, I think, any time from later tonight or probably in the early hours 11. Of tomorrow.
Yeah, probably.
And then we'll be crunching those numbers with us. Of course, the screens behind us, will be essentially doing the talking. At the moment, they're all standing at zero. And of course, as soon as voting concludes, the IEC does tell us that, that's when they will officially start the counting. So it's early days as we monitor what is happening on the ground.